Hello, my name is Peter Parfitt. Welcome to the New Brick Workshop. Now, for those who know me well, I'm sorry I've been away for a little bit. I've been really busy doing a few projects around the house which really didn't lend themselves to video work. Anyway, I'm back now, and this is the Imagination to Reality i2R A22 CNC. It's the smallest one in their range, and I'm now going to tell you all about it. Now, many of you probably know that I do tool design work, and that requires me to make prototypes, and prototypes have to be really, really accurate. Now, my trusty old X-Carve CNC, which I've had for many years, was brilliant. It did almost everything I wanted it to do, but there were some recent things where I needed that extra bit of accuracy. And so I've had to take a giant leap up in the CNC business, and hence the i2R CNC I have behind me. Now, when I decided to upgrade, I did some searching on the internet, first of all for which machine should I get, which one could I afford, and also where I should buy it from. And all of those boxes were ticked when I decided I would purchase my new i2R CNC from Stoney CNC, and they're based in Ireland. And there's no problem or hassle with shipping from Ireland to the UK. It works very easily indeed. Now, when I ordered the machine, Stoney CNC didn't have the stand in stock, and that had to come. So that came separately about a week or so later. And so I started my video making with just the CNC sitting on a trolley that I had. I'm sure you'll understand. And again, before I made the decision to buy this particular machine, I did lots of searches and looked at many, many videos. And by far the best videos I came across were made from an Australian company which sell i2R CNCs, and a chap called Barry. And I'll put the link in the description of this where you can find those videos. And because his videos are so good and so informative, I do not intend to talk in detail about the assembly of the base, about the assembly of the machine, the assembly of the machine. It was an absolute doddle. All I had to do was take the packaging off and do a couple of minor little things, and that was it, ready to go. So it's really very easy. Look at Barry's videos. Now, the machine comes with some bits of thick MDF, I think they're about an inch thick, which are going forward to back on the CNC, and they act as a wasteboard. But I like to have my own wasteboard, and I'll tell you all about that in this video. But here it is, it's almost complete. And basically, I like to have the ability of having an X and Y stop like these here, so I can position things accurately and reposition them if necessary. And also I like to have multiple hold down capabilities, and that's why you see so many holes in this board. More of that later. Anyway, let me just go through what I've been up to. Now, as I may have said earlier, the bed on the i2R CNC has channels which are almost exactly 48 millimeters apart. Now, if the CNC were working, I could make it do all the work. But until I get that stand, I'm stuck, so I'm going to use the path guide system. Now, I've actually made a start, and I've drawn a pencil line all the way along here at 24 millimeters from this edge. And I've also made a pencil line here, 24 millimeters from there, because that's where I want to have my anchor corner. Now, in order to do this marking out really accurately, I've got this Precision T square, and it's actually a marker, and it comes with a 0.5 millimeter pencil, and you can do really accurate markings to within 1/4 of a millimeter. Mind you, 0.5 millimeter thickness of lead, of course, but even so, it really does help. And that's from the Woodworker's Workshop. Now, if you have the path guide system, all you need to have in order to use it and create the most amazingly accurate layout of holes for your workbench, all you need is a pair of clamps and a drill. And of course, the path guide system. Now, technically, I didn't need to do all these holes, but they're there really to give me confidence that where these are going to go coincides with the channels which are in the bed of the CNC. So my next stage now is to draw some lines, and these will be lines along which the bolts which will hold the wasteboard onto the bed of the CNC will be placed. I'm using my diagram, so that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the next one. I get the corresponding one up there, and the final one is over on the right hand side here. Right, so that's those. Now the places I'll be placed now I need to then do the ones that go across, and that will then give me a crosshair where the drilling for the clearance holes for the heads of the bolts will be. Now I've now carefully marked out the top, and I've done some drilling, and if you imagine that this is going to go up the CNC that way, but upside down, and I've got to plant now these pieces on. The large holes are 13 millimeters in diameter, and they allow the screws which will be holding the whole thing onto the bed of the CNC to pass through there, and then through all the way through these pieces, and then into the nuts which are in the channel on the bed of the CNC. So there's one lot there, one there, one there, one there, and then one there, and one there. So you can see roughly how those are going. And they're going to be screwed. I've got screw holes here, and on the other side I've counterbored by about 6 or 7 millimeters so that the screw heads are well below the top surface of this. So you should be able to glean all of this information from the diagram which I will supply. So the rails were made up. I had the large holes in the baseboard here so that I could then get the screws going all the way through here, through the rails, and then with everything to be fixed to the CNC bed. It was a little bit of a fiddle getting it all lined up, but it was worth it in the end. So now I then had the wasteboard, actually it's the waste support board, on the rails, on the CNC in the right place. The next job was to plant these two pieces of wood on, and these will form my left fence and bottom fence. But they need to be oversized and then trimmed off using the CNC. So we've got a perfect edge here, perfect edge there, and a known position for these edges as well. I then went about flattening the wasteboard or sub-wasteboard, and what I should have said was, before I put those two rails on, the bottom rail and the left rail, I had done a flattening sequence around the edge, and you may have spotted that in the clip. Once that was done, I was then able to use the CNC to drill all of the holes for the screw inserts which you see in this pattern, which is at 48 millimeter centers. And it's my intention that this piece of MDF at no stage gets damaged at all, because I will put sacrificial pieces on top. And when I did all the screw inserts to drill those holes, I cheated and I did some drilling through the true wasteboards which will go on top of here. And part of my rationale for doing all of this is that I like to have a lot of hold down points, and because some of the things I make are quite small, it's quite awkward having huge sort of gaps between them. So I've got a whole bunch of holes at 48 millimeter intervals, both that way and that way, and I'm going to put some of these screw inserts into these holes. Now this is what the screw insert looks like. It's got a coarse thread here, which in my case, these are 5 millimeter threaded inside. I need a 7 millimeter hole in the MDF to screw this in. Now I've done all this on the CNC. I've drilled a 7 millimeter hole, and there's a 12 millimeter rebate, which then allows each of these screw inserts to go just below the surface in case there was a little prang at some point. And in order to put them in, it's dead easy. With your drill, don't have it on too high a torque setting, keep it upright, and away you go. It's as simple as that. The only trouble is I've got 169 to put in. And if you look carefully, you can see there's a little sort of collar at the top here. Now, sometimes when putting those in, that breaks off, and you don't want that, so you have to then remove it. And it's happened to one of mine. And so what I've done is, the broken one is here. I've put a dab of super glue on the end of this 5mm bolt. And I'm just hoping that that goes off enough so that I can then unscrew this and take the broken one out. Now, in order for me to move the machine out of the way so I can finish those inserts, I first of all turn the machine on, and this control box comes with the machine. It's got all the special software in and the various electrical bits to control all of this lot, and that's connected by an RJ45 cable to my computer. And in my case, I don't have an RJ45 socket on my computer, but I've got an adapter which allows that cable to be plugged into a USB socket, and that's what I've got over here. Now, the software I'm using, which controls the CNC, is the UCCNC software, and a license comes for that when you buy one of these machines. And when you first fire it up, you see this button here flashing. That's the reset button. When that's flashing, it's safe to change a tool on the CNC or whatever it might be. But I want to move the machine out of the way, and so I'm going to press that reset button, and I'm going to tell it to do a home all, which will send the head of the CNC back down to the bottom left-hand corner. So I'm going to press it now, and I've moved it round. First of all, it moved the head up fully on the Z-axis upwards till it reaches a stop. It's then done the X-axis to the 0 position here, and it's now doing the Y-axis till it comes to a stop. And these limit switches which are used stop the machine trying to bash its way out of the frame. So that's it moved. Now, I'm not going to tell you any more about the UCCNC software. Look it up, look at videos on the internet. It's very simple to use. There are a couple of sort of oddities about it, but I think actually it's a great improvement what I've been used to in the past. Well, I've been able to remove one of them using that technique. I don't know whether I'll get my screw back, but I'm going to replace that now with a better one. Now, one of the things I noticed, not only with this CNC, but actually with my old one as well, was with the dust shoe, when the machine is all the way this way, the part which is at the front here where the hose is attached is actually overhanging empty space. And so it's going to draw its air from there rather than from the surface. So what I think is better is to extend this surface so that then the extractor will be extracting from this area and not from fresh air. So I've made this piece. It's quite simple. It's got a piece that fits along there, and then it extends out forwards. That's it. I'll just move the machine back so that I can then tighten those up. It's very simple. You just move the mouse over to the left, and up comes a control area of the screen, and I can now tell it to go forward in the Y direction. That's now out of my way, and I can now go back there, back here, to tighten up these things. And that's really pretty good. So as you can now see that when this machine moves forward, the dust boot will be effectively sealed as it's over here, and that means more of the suction is going where it's needed. And just to complete what I was saying about the spoil boards on here, and that this shouldn't get damaged at all, what I did when I drilled the 7mm holes through this in order to put these screw inserts in, at the same time I drilled the holes in this. This was on top. So now this is my real spoil board, and although it's a thin piece of material, because I'll be holding workpieces down on here, and therefore it's being clamped downwards onto my main board, is going to be flat enough for government work. Anyway, so that's that. Well, that's it for this first video about the new i2R CNC. Remember what I said. Do look for those videos by Barry at i2R CNC in Australia. They are really good. It'll give you a lot of the background, and those videos help me to make my decision to get this machine. So do look at those. Many thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.